So I can't say that as an indie developer I've ever developed something and shipped it all on my own. Shortly after college, I got an internship with Syac Games, and I ended up working on a Highlander game. And it eventually got scrapped and instead got converted into a board game, which was my introduction to board game development. And unfortunately, a lot of my direct involvement in video games isn't super glamorous. Like, I'm not a coder, nor am I an artist. I did work with an analytics company that was contracted by Microsoft to basically analyze data and come up with marketing campaigns for Xbox 360 titles. That's probably the coolest thing I've done. Everything else has kind of been consultant work, at least as far as video games have gone. I've actually done quite a bit more in the board gaming world. I've helped write for a couple tabletop RPGs. One that actually got shipped was Broken Sky. I did an indie print-to-play game called Alchemica. I'm working on a new game now called Cake Lord. Oh, I've also done translation and localization work for a couple games, but they're basically kinda BS mobile titles. The closest interaction I've had with the mainstream video game community, the AAA video game business, has been as a journalist, which I've been doing for 17 years. And that's kind of the gateway that gets me into other positions like consultant or at one point I taught some classes on game design. But I am fundamentally a writer, not a coder. I know how to code, and if I wanted to, I could go down that route, but that's not the route I went down for my career. After I lost my last gig due to COVID, I have considered going into the creative side of the industry a little bit more from a writing perspective, like a creative writing perspective. It would be cool to write dialogues and scenarios and stuff like that. But so far I haven't. Overall, my friends have kind of gone on to have cooler development careers than me. My friend Kyle works at Respawn and has worked on Apex Legends, and my friend Nathan has actually worked on the new God of War. And my friend Noel has a much steadier and better gig doing board game design than I do. So yeah, I would never call myself a dedicated developer, but I am a dedicated writer, analyst, and journalist. And also, the big difference between me and my friends who have the cooler careers is that I'm willing to put my face on TikToks. So yeah, that's my story.